Hey, Sand Shark fans, we're here with Coach Jay Harris. Jay, 10-win season, double digits again for the women's soccer team. Let's kind of break down that whole year. Started off really strong, played a lot of good teams at the beginning in the non-conference, go into the conference slate, really challenging this year. Kind of talk us through, let's start at the beginning. What did you see at the beginning of the year and then transitioning into the middle for them?
I thought we was pretty consistent the whole year. We played good teams throughout the year, and everything. There's only one game where we really let it slip and get away from us, which is Southeastern. Every other game, whether it be we winning or losing, they were close, competitive games. So it's consistent, and that's all you're really looking for. Of course, it would have been great for a couple of games to really swing and go our way, which I thought realistically we would have better in a few of the games, but that's the way it goes. If you don't put the ball in the back of the net, you end up losing them. But I'm proud of everything that we've done, that throughout the season we really didn't dip anywhere. Like I said, it's every game we went into, it was a competitive game, so I'm happy with that. And considering we lost a couple of players that probably could have been instrumental, before season started, and then during season, 4 games in, Aaliyah being out, having an injury and not playing the majority of the season, I thought the players done well, that we adapted to not having those key players and still staying focused and having the belief. So I'm proud of what we achieved.
You talked about consistency, and that was something could be easily seen. There wasn't any time that y'all were getting blown out or y'all took care of teams that you needed to take care of. But the fact that y'all were consistently going out there and putting the ball on the foot and really maintaining the tempo, 4 of which from the Sun Conference went into the postseason. Georgia Gwinnett also went in there. Teams that y'all saw in the postseason and really competed with. What was the difference between last year, years before, and then this year, and really just being able to be like, all right, we may have not had a great success against a Georgia Gwinnett or Kaiser or Southeastern like you talked about, but what was different this year?
I can't attest before I got here, but since I've been here, it's just about bringing in a different level of talent and a different level of player. And I think year after year we've been able to do that. So every year we continue to improve, but that's not to say every team is improving. So every coach is doing that, but our play and our belief and our system and what we're able to do on the field now, it's a great product we're able to put out there. We have a lot of talented student athletes representing the university, and so it's just about elevating the level a little bit, continuing to improve all the time, and that's the goal moving forward. It's obviously a year ago we got 11 wins, and was 1 game shy of making the national tournament, receiving votes. All these little things, they create belief, and the players need to continue to improve. So this year was about consistently doing what we've done. It's consistently playing in a season and doing well over the course of the season, but then it's about consistently being able to produce double-digit wins and doing that every year. So that was the main goal, that we wanted to again get double-digit wins, and making national tournament was the goal too. But we fell a little short, but not to any detriment of anything we've done. We competed, like I said, and like you alluded to, that in our conference we have 4 teams go, and every team we played was by 1 goal we lost. So we can't have no qualms about it. We put in some great performances, and we made the postseason. Then we went down to Florida and lose a close game to St. Thomas. So it's all good, and it's all things that we can build on to be better.
So kind of through years past, since I've been here for the last couple of years, Anna Ginlack comes to mind, putting the ball in the back of the net. Mari Colvotton's coming in. She moved from the defensive role, moving more to the attacking mid. This year, everyone was touching the ball and putting the back of the net. You're looking at Mari Colvotton again. You're looking at Sin. You're looking at Masson Foshi. But you also had a really strong back line with Henny, where she was really good on set pieces. You're also looking at your left wings and your left backs that really created opportunities with Marcella and everyone out there defensively and moving up on those wings. So there were a lot of pieces in play this year, and I think that goes back to it. Talk about those pieces that you brought in as well as retained from years past.
Obviously, every single year you're looking to grow and improve, bring in players that can elevate the program in some way. And this year, obviously, bringing in Sin, playing on right outside forward, was the leading assist in the conference. Done a tremendous job for us. There wasn't a left back that could hold her back, so she done a great job for us. And then Hager, obviously coming in as a freshman, starting the centre back, produced a lot of offense for us, not just on set pieces, but getting in the box herself and then doing a great job defensively. Alexia in the holding mid position. These are freshmen that are coming in and having an impact, and that's really what I look for, is freshmen that can come in and make an immediate impact. Losing players like Anna and Alison, these are important players that played 4 years of their career from freshman to senior in this program. So you can never replace them. You're looking to bring in players that can maybe do something a little different or add something in a different way. But they're players, if you could hold on to them and bring in more players, it would be wonderful. So you're really trying to replace them with better players. That's the whole point of this. Every player that we have, we want to be better. So when players graduate and they've given so much to this program, we're trying to bring in players that can elevate us even more. So everyone, you talk about Mari and Mari playing striker really, and a year ago she scored 17 goals in attacking mid. This year she had to play the majority of the time as a striker, and she scored 17 goals. So when I'm talking about we lost a player that would have been playing there prior to the season, it would have given us a great benefit to have Mari in the attacking mid and then actually have a striker, and then them goals even out a little more and you're actually able to score more. So yeah, and everyone, honestly, the players coming in, obviously Downey coming back in her sophomore season, leading assists last year, coming this year, putting in great performance. The more strength you get, the more rotation you want. And it's hard as any player. Everyone, if you're a competitor, you want to play all the time, every minute. But the better the team becomes, the more rotation you can have. Players have to understand that there's roles that they got to play. Marcella's a great example that, freshman year got off to a blazing start, done phenomenal, scoring goals in conference, and then, they started figuring out her strengths, but still had the effort and had the threat for our team. But she's transitioned to a left back or outside back, full back position, and has done phenomenal the majority of this year. So there's just players that are versatile, which gives us a great benefit as a team, that we can move pieces around if we need to try and create some chemistry if some things are not working. So it's exciting that the players that we have that are coming back, and then the players that are going to be coming in, it's a bright future for the program.
Yeah, you were talking about chemistry, and I think that was a big thing that really helped and developed this year. Everyone seemed to be on the same mindset, which created a lot more opportunities offensively, and even on the back line, the communication was there, especially from those two center backs. One thing I think that's really stood out from this season was set pieces. Last year wasn't as many opportunities to get off of set pieces. Now you had Araya, who was taking corner kicks, as well as Mari Calvatin, but really the biggest threat was off of Henny's leg, especially from deep, and then Madison Foshi being able to utilize her height. Gabby Baldo comes to mind as well off of those. Can you talk about set pieces in terms of what you did differently?
Sometimes it's not so much about height, like Foshi's not the tallest player. She just has a determination and drive to want to get on the end of it. She will run through a brick wall to get on the end of a ball, whether it be a foot or a head. It doesn't matter. There's just not a ton of players that have that type of determination to challenge and win headers 50-50s and really put themselves on the line. It's difficult to do. So, she's done an amazing job on set pieces. I think the goal against Ave Maria comes to mind, that was whipped in, and she came through like a bullet and just, put her head like a freight train and just put her head on it, and it hit the back of the net with force. And that wasn't the only one. So, obviously, Hagar being able to put the ball in the dangerous areas from in and around even half field, that's something I was looking for, to bring someone in, obviously, that could distribute out of the back, and we didn't have to pull a midfielder or someone back to be able to take set pieces. Gabby obviously does have height, and she's able to win headers in the middle and in the box. She's really come back, getting comfortable now, so I expect her to have even more of an impact moving forward in the spring and in the fall. But you got to work on them things, and you've got to have the same way when you win a ball and you go down the line and you cross the ball into the box. You want people trying to get on the end of it. A set piece is as dangerous as that, and players often, they don't think of it like that. It's a free kick, but that free kick is putting the ball into the box, and it's a 50-50 ball at the end of the day. That whoever wins it, and the second balls you pick up those. So many goals come from set pieces at all levels. So on the defensive side and the offensive, you've got to be tuned in, and you really got to want to win the first and second ball.
And then kind of transitioning into the year, losing, I think it was 4 seniors this year. A lot of them defensive-minded. Comes to mind Dina, Kumar, Lauren Wood. So there's two big pieces right there, your right back and your left center back. They'll be leaving and graduating and moving on. Talk about kind of the recruiting, because I'm sure you've been on the road looking at different ladies. I know you've talked about bringing in more Norwegians to the squad. Where are you kind of looking to fill in those two voids specifically?
I mean, I'm looking to strengthen the whole team, but obviously you need to bring in players where you're losing. So I mean, I already have a player coming in from Norway in the spring. She'll be here in January, and she plays right and left back. And Lauren obviously graduating. It's unfortunate, like I mentioned, Lee missed. She played 4 games and then missed the rest of the season. So she'll be back in the spring, partnering with Hagar. So having her back is monumental. And then bringing someone in that can challenge Hagar and Lee for that starting spot. You know, signed a girl from Atlanta who's very much like Marcella, going to be extremely difficult to beat on the outside. So we'll have some options at the back in how we want to play, whether it be a 3-5-2 or still a 4-3-3 or whatever formation. You know, you want to have options, but bolstering our attack is extremely important. I think our midfield is pretty strong. I mean, we've got most coming back with Alexia and Kristen, Keaton, Mari, Foshi, Tinair and Kellen. And I mean, there's so many, and we've got some options wide that, you know, didn't feature as much, that will feature a lot more in the spring. So we're able to try some different things. But bringing in players that can bolster our offense is definitely something I'm looking to do, especially, you know, in the middle and left side. You want more rotation. You know, it's you don't just want to rely on one player. You want to be able to rotate and be able to give players rest. And you saw that with Sin. You know, she might have started, but she always had about 15 to 20 minutes every half. She was out, and someone was to come in, and the level didn't drop. You know, that's what we want really across the whole field.
And that's a big part, especially for the conference schedule, where you're going Thursday and then a game, a one-day rest, and then a game on Saturday, getting those minutes. But to kind of go full circle, last year you're playing fall and spring. This year it's kind of going back to a little bit more normalcy, for lack of a better word. You have some spring games on the docket, I'm sure, and then you're like you said, talking about different people and rotating in. How important is that, having that off season but still being able to get out and play some games, getting people times and minutes?
Last year was great to be able to play fall and spring. It really was. But this spring is going to be great for us, that I've created a schedule where everyone's going to be able to get minutes. You know, you're not just thinking about, okay, we've got to win these games, and, you know, it's about trying new things, developing players and seeing if we can work on these new formations and putting different players in. And the outcome is not what you're focused on the result. The outcome is what happens on the field, and does it look good enough? Is there enough chemistry? Can we develop it? So there's a great benefit to not having a spring schedule, and I'm excited for our spring. I mean, we already have the games. I mean, we'll be going to Bruton Parker and playing them, as well as Georgia College, who are in the Peach Belt. So it's going to give us a great look at where we sort of stack up. They finished 6th in the Peach Belt, took Flagler in the conference tournament 3-2. So, you know, they're a good program. So I'm excited for that game. And obviously Bruton Parker, we know, is a tough contest. We go to Middle Georgia State, who have gone to the national tournament last couple of years. Valdosta's going to be coming in there, so we're playing those 2 games. We're going to go to the Citadel Division 1 program in Charleston, and then we've also got a junior college coming in, and Scab will come in. So we got plenty of games, good competition. So I'm excited, and I think the players, you know, it's going to be a fun spring, but it's going to be more learning and more developing, and really, because we have so many returning players, it's going to afford us the opportunity to be able to develop things and really concentrate on work that we can, when we come back in the fall, that really the foundation is already there, and we just need to touch up on it again.
And then to wrap up, you kind of alluded to it, not Valdosta, their Division II program, but Georgia College, moving to the Peach Belt. We know we've talked about it all year. Now you're kind of getting that taste of Division II, Peach Belt. Talk about next year. What are kind of your expectations? I know it's going to be a little bit challenging and difficult, where you're going to be NAIA for a little bit in terms of postseason play, but also going into the Peach Belt and playing a full Division II Peach Belt conference.
Exciting. That's just the word, exciting. You know, for the university, for the athletic department, for women's soccer, it's an exciting time to be part of this. I'm extremely honoured and proud to be the head coach of this program, transitioning into the Division 2, and I think we're going to surprise a few teams in there because we have a strong team, a great mindset, great group of ladies that are going to go there and go and compete. So, we can only build. It can only get better from here on out. So I think it's going to be an exciting time. I think it's going to be extremely challenging. Obviously, it's one of the toughest Division 2 conferences in the country, but this is why I coach, and this is what as a player you should want. You want to challenge yourself against the best, and that's the only way you get better. So people need to tune in, people need to pay attention, and I think it's going to be a great full season.
Absolutely, and like you said, there's a lot of spring games coming up out here, so several D2, a Division I team with the Citadel, and as well as SCAD coming back. A lot of good games here in the spring at Finland Field. We hope to see you out here in the Low Country, but also looking forward to a great and exciting fall. Coach, thanks for having time to sit down and recap the year.
Stand up. Thank you.